Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first December project for this year. Not my first December project from the beginning. Yes, it is December 8th and I haven't done anything in my project yet and that's okay. That is because my photo printer decided to have its ink cartridge die, so I needed to order a new ink cartridge and make that happen so I can print out the photo. So I figure I'll just do some like introductory page type stuff today. So let's see what I can do. Right, so I'm starting out with this beautiful textured paper. Now this is a textured paper that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. It is a 12 by 12 size that I cut down to fit inside of this 6 by 8 page protector here. Now this is a paper that my husband definitely enabled me to buy that day. So it is gorgeous. Now I'm glad that I have this 6 by 8 section because now I can use the other parts of the paper throughout the album. I'm looking for some things to decorate with. Now I've decided that I'm going to use a hunk of this plaid paper. This is from Paper House. And now I'm flipping through these My Mind's Eye cards. I decide to go for this holly tree that has a little bit of glitter. I'm thinking about bringing in this other tree, but the greens and the darkness, they just clash. Well, not really clash, but they like kind of fall into each other and it just looks funky. So that can't happen. Now, I almost decided to just leave it like this with just the tree and putting a thin label across it and leaving it completely plain, but I couldn't. More is more, so we definitely had to grab more. Now, this is a brad here over on top of the tree. It's one of those brad tineless brads, so it's not really a brad. It's like a metal encased enamel dot, kind of. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to figure out how I can decorate the page. There have been multiple years where I've put a December calendar up at the front of the album, and I didn't want to go with that this year. I wanted to do something that was definitely a little bit different. I have to go flip through my other albums to see if I came up with anything all that different. I'm actually not that sure. Now, I decided to use the 25 because of the album being thinner this year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the entire month of December in the album or if it is just going to be a 25-day month in the album. So I've pulled out some things that I think I'm going to use, and I think that will make a great title page. So I am finding the center point of my paper. And then once I do that, I draw a line, and then I'm going to cut from one corner to the edge of that line, and then the other corner to the same edge of the line. And that is going to give me a beautiful fishtail banner. Now I am applying a lot of ATG on here because of the textured paper. And I'm just going to use my grid mat to line it up because nobody needs a banner that is crooked. I go ahead and trim that little bit off, and I really like the paper on the opposite side as well. It's kind of a watercolory, greenery, and holly paper, so I decide that I'm going to go ahead and use this to layer up over top of the plaid. Now, you might have been wondering why the heck I was rubbing that piece of paper there. It's because I had leftover adhesive from when I placed it down on the background, and I just decided to go ahead and use that adhesive with the number 25 instead of making adhesive boogies, because the adhesive boogies land in the carpet and they boogify the carpet, and nobody needs that in their lives. Now, I did not like how much this tree kind of blended into the background again. I thought that there was going to be enough color difference, but there really wasn't. It didn't stand out at all. It just kind of looked like a Christmas blob here on the title page, and I didn't want a Christmas blob. So I went ahead and used some white cardstock. I trimmed around the tree, and then I'm going to place the tree on top of that white cardstock, and then I'm going to trim it a little bit more because some of the some of the edges are a little janky and some of them are a little bit thicker than it really needs to be. So once I get that done, I'm going to go ahead and place that down on top of my layout here. And what I'm doing is I am ensuring that I'm using white and cream on this first title page of the album, so that when you flip through the album and you see all of the different whites and creams in the album, it's not going to kind of be like this, whoa, what is going on? Something's a little funky here. Both of them are already introduced as colors right here, so it will go smoothly throughout the album. At least that is my plan. So this little chipboard piece up here, I ended up grabbing a black sticker that says cheer, and I'm just going to overlap there over here at the top. Now, I was actually going to use that green "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" at the bottom of the layout. That was my original plan, but you know, sometimes things go awry. I went ahead and grabbed these clear holly and berry stickers and just overlapped the holly and berry that was already on that chipboard piece. It's giving it a little bit of dimension, a little bit more depth. So I am liking that. I go ahead and peel off half of the chipboard piece because it just felt like it was too bulky up there at the top. It kind of felt like if I would have stood the page up, it would have folded over on itself. It was so heavy. So I ripped off half the chipboard and I'm using my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. But then I decide, you know what? There needs to be something else up here. This little chipboard piece looks so cold and alone. I need to do something. So I'm going to go ahead and add some greenery bits. This one is going to be this paper bird paperclip type thing. I'm not worrying about the bird or the paperclip. I just want the greenery. So I go ahead and get that down there, and then I find another piece of greenery, and I end up using another paperclip type thing. It is a literal paperclip. It isn't a real clip, so it is easy to trim down. I'm going to tuck that underneath of the Christmas tree, and then that paired with that silver brad is going to give me that little tiny bit of extra that I want it right here. So more is more, especially in a Christmas album, right? Like, especially a December project. More is more. Now, I could have kept going with this. I could have layered it up more. I could have added foam. Could have added pop foam behind it. I could have done all of those things. But really, I end up pretty happy with how this title page is. And I think that the varying products that I use, it's going to allow me to really use the whole plethora of products that I have over here to the left side of my screen, because I do have varying shades of red and greens, varying shades of red and whites, or cream and whites, and then like different styles. And I'm trying to kind of intermingle them all together to make one beautiful December project. I am going to add my favorite gold sparkly sequins. These are from Brutus Monroe, and I'm just figuring out where I want them to go, and then I'm going to use my Crystal Katana and some Nouveau Deluxe to go ahead and drop those bad boys down. Now, a Crystal Katana is a tool that has two different tips on it. One is a wax tip that you can pick up your sequins and beads and things like that with. The other one is a blunt point tip that you can kind of use to just move things into place where it's not going to really stick to it like the wax tip would. So I am looking around because I realize that I don't have a date on here, and I definitely want to do that. And good news, my Chamel stamps that I ordered back in October finally arrived today. So I am going to go ahead and use them. Now I decide to go for the December word, and I just popped off the entire banner kind of clustery thing I had going on here, because I felt like it would be much easier and cleaner to stamp this off of that textured paper. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp down December, and then I also grabbed the little date which says 2021, and I'm going to put that over here in the upper right hand corner of my plaid paper. Now I am again using the Brutus Monroe Raven Detail ink. You guys, it is by far my favorite black ink ever. I'm going to add a whole bunch more adhesive here to the banner. Going to get it stuck back down to my page, and then that is going to do it, guys. That is the title page for my December project. Here's a couple of close-ups. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again real soon for another video.